Wondery's new podcast, Dis and Tell, wades into the glorious mess of celebrity beef. Each episode explores a different iconic celebrity feud and asks, what does our obsession with these feuds say about us? Follow Dis and Tell wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
When there's so much that happens. Watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens?
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. So then we go to James. He goes to a restaurant in the valley, and he sits down with Schwartz. Did you notice that the Great Greek was in the background? I don't know why. I was expecting to see Angie K like on a swing. I'm Greek. Welcome to my restaurant. So Schwartz is like, oh, James, I got you something. So being a new homeowner, you're going to be obsessed with plants. Huh, I got you a little monstera. Yeah. And also being a homeowner, you will develop a borderline fetish with candles. Hit that. I was like, plants. Yes, I do see that. Candles. No. I am proud to say I'm not obsessed. I'm reverse obsessed with candles. I hate them. Except the ones
I kind of hate them too. I feel like everybody gives you a candle
all the time.
Having candles come back. Like candles are a huge thing now. Everybody, and I know a bunch of people who sell their own. By the way, this is no offense to the people who sell their own. I support your business.
I support it. Dr. Tiffany Moon, love her. Her candles actually smelled really good.
Yeah, but it's just so many competing smells. And then a lot of people give them to me because it's like a Christmas thing, you know? It's like give somebody a candle. I'm like, A, did somebody die in a Catholic church? Because I've got 900 candles in here. And B, how badly do I stink? Why doesn't someone just say, Ronnie, put on some fucking deodorant? Because at this point, I feel like they're telling me you smell like an ass. And that's why we have given you 97 candles that all smell like different things.
Exactly. Like I'm not inherently opposed to a candle. Like there are certain candle scents that are wonderful, but I know the scents that I like, and there's a range, and so I like to get the candles on my terms. I don't want you to give me a candle because most of the time the candle smells hideous to me. So it's like you know what? It's like it's like getting someone underwear or something like that. That's like an intimate. It's a private choice.
It's a choice you make, right? Like you don't buy someone a dining room table because that's something they have to pick out for themselves. Like it's their taste. Don't buy someone personal.
Right. Like imagine if I bought, like you just don't, there's certain things you're like, let this be that person's choice. Because the truth is most people don't understand what my olfactory needs are. And they almost 95% of the time get them wrong.
But also, specifically for you, if someone got you a candle specifically, they don't know you. Because anybody who knows you knows that you are extremely persnickety about smells.
This is my area. Like there are a lot of scents that most people think are lovely that I do not like. Yeah. Like I don't want, I just think about them. And that's, you know, when you open up a bag and it's full of candles, you're like, That being said, someone did actually get us candles that had all sorts of funny names on them. And those candles all smelled great. And what was the best part about them is that they all had funny names like, were you getting blowjobs at the roundup or whatever? And remember we went through TSA and I had my blowjob candle in my baggage, and I literally got pulled aside by TSA, and the TSA people pulled out the candle and they went, are you getting blowjobs at the roundup?
Yeah, you're not paid to read, okay? Just do your thing and put it back.
That's a great mortifying moment.
Here's another mortifying moment. If I showed up to dinner and found out you were taking me to a place called Wood and Water, I would leave and say, don't call me ever again. Who wants to eat at a place called Wood and Water?
What are you doing? Making paper?
Gross.
Making paper or something?
Okay, so James is like, oh my God, love the candle. It's like citrus pussy in there. Smell it. So fresh.
It's exactly what I want my house to smell like, citrus pussy.
So then the waiter comes over, and I think this waiter has gotten in trouble for shaming people trying to make the upsell of bottled water. Because, you know, that's how we're trained, waiters. We're trained to be like, so sparkling still? Either of those? And when you say, just tap is fine, they go, oh, tap. Okay. All right, tap. I will send the busboy over with some tap. Be right back. But instead, this guy... This guy goes, so you guys just want regular filtered water from a pitcher? It's filtered. I'm trying to. Did you feel less shamed? Okay.
So Schwartz is like, oh, by the way, oh, God, this is the first time I've worn this hat out in public. That's his Schwartz and Sandy's hat. And he's like, it's my first time wearing it since, you know what, I was worried I might get a boo or something. Meanwhile, like everyone across the restaurant's like, boo.
I think if Tom Sandoval can actually go out in public and sing, I mean, that guy should have been booed before Scandoval, and he's still out there after Scandoval singing. I think you're going to be fine with your little stupid hat.
You're okay, buddy. You're okay. So Schwartz is like, oh, the biggest fight I ever been in my life was naming our bar Schwartz and Sandy's, and he campaigned for that so hard. And then Mr. Marketing Genius put that name on the side of the building. And when you do that, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Oh, God, I'm rambling. God, pretending to be mad at Sandoval so people like me again is really hard.
I know. And also, you're only shooting with James because Sandoval is doing something else right now, which is also really sad. But he's like, hey, James, wow, James, so good to see you. I'm going to talk about myself for about 20 minutes in a row, okay? I hope that's okay. So, yeah, our restaurant became like the scene of a crime. Reservations are down and the staff quit. We feel like zoo animals in there, People were harassing servers, coming in there with a vengeance, just yelling at servers. It was so toxic.
I'm like, do you know the show you've been on for the past 10 years? And now you want to complain about something being toxic? So he's like, oh, right now I have a lot of resentment for Tom Sandoval. Don't be mad at me, America. I'm so mad at him. And he said, I'm sorry I put you in a fucked up position and that I used you as a shield for my affair. In other words, I had nothing to do with this, America. Oh, I'm just sweet Tom Schwartz. Oh.
Just a sweet, sweet guy who's been put in a bad position. So then he tells us that he had a bad year anyway. And, Scandoval was just a radioactive cherry on a shit Sunday. And he's like, I felt like a pariah in the group. And James says, I know the feeling on that one, bro. Did you even hear me say citrus pussy? It was actually pretty good. Damn it, they followed me.
Follow me over here to Sherman Oaks.
Sorry, I was told by production that you'd only eat by an airport. Thought you could.
So, Schwartz like, yeah, well, thank you for extending some empathy and remembering that I'm not Tom Sandoval. I'm Tom Schwartz. I'm not Tom Sandoval at all. Oh, hold on. I just got booked to do another podcast with Sandoval where I let him off the hook. Bye.
So then Schwartz, by the way, I want to listen to that. You're talking about the Nick Viall podcast, right?
Yeah, I haven't listened to it, but I saw a clip this morning someone sent to me. Thank you, whoever you were. I'm sorry, I forgot who it was that sent it to me because I read it as soon as I woke up. I watched it, and the clip I saw was Tom Sandoval being pissed at Sweet Lady Jane's because they made a cake that was like, Sweet Lady Jane's is a bakery in LA that just closed, and they made a cake that was like Team Ariana or something. He's like, dude, they put it on a cake, man. They put it on a cake. And then Schwartz was like, yeah, but man, they closed. Good, I'm glad that they closed, man. They closed. They should have closed after putting my name on a cake, man. And Schwartz is like, I think it was like, Nick, I think it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Not that I'm trying to explain for him. Oh, I'm cute. Oh, I'm glad they closed, man.
I tried watching, but it was 2.5 hours, which, listen, I'm not coming from a place of doing a concise podcast where I'm judging the length of your podcast. I'm just like, I'm too tired. Like, I can't. But he does a 2.5 hour show, and Tom Sandoval's not even there in the beginning. He's late. Tom Schwartz shows up, and he's like, sorry, guys, I guess we're on TS time. That's Tom Sandoval time. Yeah, he's not. And they're like, well, why don't you call that motherfucker and tell him to get over here? What an idiot, And so,
how are you late to your own redemption tour? I can't do that.
I'm going to listen to it, though. I do have time for it. Just I didn't have this time this morning, but I am going to listen to it. We'll report on it a little later. Well, yeah.
I'll get the highlights. I'll go to Reddit. I'll read the articles. I'll get the highlights. I do not have 2.5 hours to listen to Tom Sandoval. I'm sorry. Honestly, the cake thing was all I needed. He was like furious at this bakery that closed, that they dared to make a silly cake that had his name on it. Like, seriously, bro. Get over it, dude. You're the one who was the aggressor here.
So do you know who Fat Carrie Bradshaw is on Instagram? He's so funny. Oh my God, I love this guy. So he did a Tom Sandoval in this interview. He did like a whole video making fun of him, and it's so good. He's just like,
yeah, and then everybody treated me badly, but I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Okay, I take full fucking accountability.
whatever. Just doing this whole, I mean, it's perfect. He really gets the pathos and just the anger and like the, like I'm taking responsibility without taking responsibility.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, FCB. That probably is all I will need to listen to that as well.
I mean, like, yeah, because that's exactly right. Tom Sandoval taking like fake accountability and then getting annoyed that he has to keep on doing this. Listen, I get it. If he's annoyed, if he doesn't want to have to keep on apologizing, he is like, you know, bottom of the barrel for most of America right now. So then stop doing podcasts. Just go away. Go away for a moment and like let your image like improve. Because, by the way, people are already turning on Ariana in the audience. I saw so many comments that were like, ugh, I can already tell I'm sick of Ariana. So, you know, like just let the season play out. People will probably be loving Sandoval by the end of the season. And then you can emerge from your cocoon.
We are Bravo people. We are a toxic people.
She's not being entertaining yet. I'm sick of her.
Yeah, that's us. So, okay, so he's still bitching about Sandoval, blah, blah, blah. And James is like, well, I'll tell you this. You're the best when you're just Tom, not Tom Tom. Sorry, I said it. There, I said it. And now I'm wearing glasses. So you have to take it for a worthy opinion. All right, a smart person said that.
Yeah. And then James is also... you know, talking about being sober. And so he's like, yeah, I've been sober again, you know, because I've been DJing and just like having Red Bulls and Fiji water and whatever extra drinks they throw down for me from the Southwest airline. And the producer's like, are you, like, why did you decide to get sober? And he's like, well, Allah definitely didn't give me an ultimatum, but this time it was 100% my decision, eh? So I just want a DJ and I want to be like the best version of me now.
He's like, yeah, you know, it's technically California sober because I wake up, smoke a bit, and drink a coffee, smoke a bit, go to the gym, smoke a bit, have some lunch, smoke a bit. I like it. Okay, listen, there's California. I get that not everybody goes 100% sober, but I used to smoke like that too. I would not consider myself sober, even during that time. I was fucked up constantly, especially now with weed being as strong as it is. Good Lord. But you go, girl. Whatever.
But guess what? I've been meditating and I've been working out Equinox every day. And like, look at these pecs. Look at these pecs. Look at these bad boys. Aren't they nice? Look at my pecs. Yeah, look at those hot pecs. I got hot pecs, okay? I don't think I'm ever going to drink again. And then basically another plane flies overhead. And then James is like, he asks if Schwartz has spoken to Ariana yet. And he's like, oh, no, I don't think she wants to see me. I mean, you know, in her mind right now, I'm just an extension of Tom Sandoval. Little does she realize that I was put in that position and I'm angry at him. I'm basically on her side.
So he's saying, should I invite her to your DJ set tomorrow at Tom Tom? I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. And he's like, oh, all of them are invited, but don't worry. Tomorrow, it's a fresh start. All right? We're all going to be doing the exact same things in the same places with the same people. Right?
And you're going to blossom into a new flower with a new smell. A good smell. Like, I don't know, a corpse flower. You know, the sort of thing that blossoms once every 100 years and smells like ass. That's what you're going to be, you stupid slut. I'm still mad from last year. Sorry, I'm a good little boy who's sober now. Sorry. Sorry.
Tom Flom, my forgiving. Tom Flom made it rhyme there. Look, I'm sliding across the floor there.
Sir, you just crashed into table 12. So now we go to the Century Plaza. We're in Century City where Ariana and Sheena are going to have like a spa day. So they go get massages and stuff. And Ariana's talking about how she and Katie went thrifting and they got like plates and cups from the thrift store for the store and everything. And Sheena's like, yeah, I'm like busy right now, like trying to train like Summer Moon how to do like, I'm trying to like potty train her and also like how to open up a TikTok at the same time. It's like really awkward, but like I just lie and I say, oh, she already does this, so why can't you do it?
And then, unfortunately, like, I'll have Lala on speakerphone, and I'm like, Ocean does it. She poops on the toilet. And then Lala's like, Ocean doesn't poop on the toilet. She poops under a pile of toys. And I'm like, shut up!
I really want Summer Moon to meet your boyfriend, Dan. He seems like really good with kids. And
he seems like he'd be, like, really big on brisket.
Ariana's like, yeah, he has like 2 nephews and hangs out with them and then teaches them to do things they're not supposed to do. Yeah, that's like the perfect person I want around my baby.
Sounds great. Bring him over. So, Sheena's like, yeah, I don't think she's really fully processed the trauma, but like, look, as long as he doesn't sleep with one of her best friends, he's already a huge step up from her ex.
Yes, that is true. Again, I'm gonna hold judgment off of Dan because I have nothing to go on except for the fact that they met at a wedding, which also feels, I don't know, like there are a lot of love stories where people meet at a wedding, but also I feel like a wedding is where you go to hook up with people where there's no strings attached. So who knows? But we'll just have to see. And Ariana says she loves that Dan and Brock are workout buddies. And Sheena's like, yeah, we got like really good ones. Finally.
So the lady comes to offer them champagne and chocolate for the next round of whatever. And Sheena's not drinking either. She's like, yeah, because I'm like 3 weeks in with with Zoloft and no alcohol, no weed, anything. And she's like, well, do you feel okay? And then we find out that Sheena has been diagnosed with OCD. And she's like, and the affair made my mind go crazy. Like, oh my God, like, will Brock do this? Will Brock do this with Lala? Okay. Sheena has found a way to make it about herself. You're literally with the person who this was done to at a spa day, and you're still finding a way to make it about yourself. Congratulations. I mean, very well done. Sheena's gonna Sheena, man.
Sheena, I mean, she's an icon. So, yeah, she talks about how she's been diagnosed with OCD, and that like mixed with her general anxiety and everything that happened with ScandoFallout. Don't forget, she was also, was in this court case with Raquel and all that stuff. So she really said that she really kind of spiraled, and she was really having a tough time. And Ariana's basically like, Ariana is saying then that she has Schwartz blocked because I guess Sheena asked about Schwartz, and Ariana says that, after they talked that night, initially, which we saw at the finale, like it was like she was just like, listen, we can't be friends, but it was just like fine. But then she was like, oh, then I watched him on Watch What Happens Live, and he was like, people need to go give Tom Sandoval a hug. So I texted him, basically probably like a fuck you, and then blocked him.
And they're like, so what did you say to Schwartz? And she goes, I don't remember, but I don't think it's that bad. And then we see him reading the text, and he's like, it says, fuck you, blocking your number, go choke on Sandoval's dirty ass dick, you fucking loser. What are you, like a lesbian version of Macaulay Culkin now? Okay, well, whatever. What are you trying to be, the bad guy in Harry Potter, you stupid blonde-haired motherfucker? Hate you, hope you die. Come on.
For the record, I've never choked on Sandoval's dirty ass dick. I took it down smoothly. So Ariana's like, yeah, I just don't see a friendship there. But I will go to Tom Tom for James, and also because I understand the rules of reality TV, and if I don't go, everyone's going to turn on me. So I've got to be there. Yeah, I'll be there.
And she goes, but maybe I'll just, if anybody starts with me, I'm just going to go to the bathroom and take a shot. So then we see a commercial for the Valley, Jax's new show, which, wow, that still looks terrible.
I did not see this commercial. Was it?
It was the same one we saw. It's the one where he's driving a little tiny car around the neighborhood, and everyone's coming out in what they think is a ball gown, I guess, like glitter dresses and stuff. And then Brittany comes out. She's like,
Jax, you better get your butt inside and stop trying to wrangle that tiny car. Jax!
Oh gosh, the Brittany of it all is so rough. When she shows up there, yeah. I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I can go back to their world.
Well, you're going to be there.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
And it's like, coming to spring, they're taking a shot at adulting. Ding.
Good luck.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Being an actual royal is never about finding your happy ending. But the worst part is, If they step out of line or fall in love with the wrong person,
it changes the course of history.
I'm Arisha Skidmore-Williams.
And I'm Brooke Ziffrin.
We've been telling the stories of the rich and famous on the hit Wondery show Even the Rich, and talking about the latest celebrity news on Rich and Daily. We're going all over the world on our new show, Even the Royals.
We'll be diving headfirst into the lives of the world's kings, queens, and all the wannabes in their orbit throughout history. Think Succession meets The Crown meets real life.
We're going to pull back the gilded curtain and show how royal status might be bright and shiny, but it comes at the expense of, well, everything else. Like your freedom, your privacy, and sometimes even your head. Follow Even the Royals on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Even the Royals early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Now we go back to James and Allie's house, and once again, it's like playing overhead, and James like, guess what, Allie Bella? Guess what? I'm gonna slide right into this room to make this big announcement. I just found the perfect accessory to my outfit in your closet. Can you believe it? I found it in your dumb, stupid, slutty closet. Sorry, Allie Bally. Sorry, didn't mean to say that last part.
And then we go to Lala and Sheena, who are doing makeup together. And Lala's like, yeah, I'm going to like really contour so that I can create what's called Ozempic face. Sheena's like, you know how many people ask me if I'm on Ozempic? It's like, no, it's called Scandal. Oh. Well, give me some of that. Put that in a fucking shot. I'll take it.
And then Ariana's FaceTiming Dan, and she's saying that she's like really nervous to go to Tom Tom tonight. And she hasn't been there since the night that everything transpired. And she's thinking like, maybe I shouldn't go. But then if she doesn't go, then he wins. And she tells us that she just like, why should I have to make my life smaller? Because Tom messed everything up. So she's going to go there and make new memories. So that way that the old memories don't have power over her.
This old memory was bad because they showed it too. Like video from the night that she was there, March 1st, 2023. And she's in there and she's just like screaming and yelling at his set and like getting a video of her like dancing and shaking her head like, yes, he's amazing. I mean, that is terrible. That was a good partner, you know? I mean, say what you want about these people, but that is someone who actually went to your shows and pretended that you were actually good a lot. And you're not.
No. So, yeah, and then Dan's like, well, you always got me. I'm going to cheer you on from the sidelines. I'm just 2,000 miles away. So now we have everyone walking into Tom Tom, like returning to the scene of the crime. We see James and Allie walking in, and then we just see this shot of Ken. He's like, it's like his batteries are just running low. He's like, just kind of like rotating a little bit. You know?
Yeah, Ken the Skin Roomba is definitely just kind of turning around, looking at different parts of the room. Like, where do I go now? Where do I go now? Where do I put this purse? Where can I put this purse down? Because Vanderpump has made him go outside so she can have her own entrance. And of course, here she comes in slow-mo with a sexy, sexy pomegranate. Completely original idea to me.
Just taking all of Penny's sexy props.
And he's like, damn it. This woman is stealing my soul.
So she sits down with James and Allie. She's like, hello, darlings. How are you? Are you excited to be here? Are there any broken birds attending tonight?
So they all gather, and Katie and Ariana are coming down the street, and they're like, oh my God, remember the first time we came in here together? And then we see clips of them coming in arm in arm like they are now, and how positive everything was back in those days.
This is where I thought the show was really strong, actually. It's like matching the optimism of like a few seasons ago with just like the pain and the trauma of the current season. It's great.
I'm not disagreeing. I just thought you were going to say more. I was like,
there's nothing more that needs to be said. Just we can bask in all their dreams being destroyed, because that's what this show is ultimately always about.
Yeah. But you know what? It's like these people are crash test dummies. You can't be like, oh my God, they learned a lesson, because you know it's just going to be another day and another crash. It's like, who are you going to crash into now? You know, we told you. We told you both.
Lisa's like, all right, James, go and do what you're supposed to be doing. Get everyone fired up. We've got a brand new roll of tissue paper for you to sit on. Or actually toilet tissue, whatever it is. I don't know. Poor people things.
That pizza oven's not going to stop playing music out of itself, is it?
James is on like best little boy behavior. He's like, absolutely, Lisa. Whatever you want. You're the boss. Go on. I will do it. I'm the best little boy for you, Lisa.
And then Ariana comes and Schwartz comes over. He's like, hand wringing. Hi, Ariana. Oh, God, will Ariana talk to me? And she's just like squints and looks away. And he's like, gosh, she's really got that wall up. She sure is an ice queen. I mean, I understand. She has this exalted status like Queen Ariana, patron saint of scorned women. Okay, well, there you go. So you're not really trying to make up after that. There's the real Schwartz. I knew you were full of shit.
It's like, but like, until the ice melts with her, I have a feeling it's going to be really hard to make any inroads with the rest of the girls. Also, probably because you haven't showered in like 3 months, so they probably just don't literally want to be around you. So then
he goes up to the bar, and the bartender's like, would you like something, boss? And he's like, I need a hug. Gross.
Oh, poor Tom Schwartz needs a hug. So then Lisa clasps Ariana's hand and goes, are you okay? Would you like to cry? I need some broken bird energy in my soul right now. Please cry. Let those tears out, Ariana.
And then Ariana's like, this is really rough for me, guys. I haven't been here, and I'm sitting in the same chair at the same table, and it's... And so all the girls hold her hands. They have like a girl power moment where they're like squeezing hands.
Yeah.
And then we see memories of her and Tom. You know, it's funny how people can overwrite memories so quickly, because now when I think of Sandoval, all I think of is the ScandoFallout stuff and kind of the way that he was on that podcast today, or just like the bitter, gross, disgusting piece of shit slime bag he was. But then you see these memories and you really see how much he had everyone snowed, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't really care if we go home early, Ariana. I only care about your feelings. You're what's important. You can talk to me about anything.
Dude, I would rather you live in your truth than hide something from me or put something pejorative on a cake. I wouldn't want that any other way. And I totally agree with you, because honestly, I was sort of like moved by this montage. I was like a little emotional about it, because it was like, wow, you're seeing this relationship over so many years, and like it just seemed like a very sweet and beautiful and supportive relationship. Like she would show up for him, he would show up for her. They tended to each other's needs. It just was like lovely, and I think like I believed in it. And then you sort of see it and you're like, oh man, this is such a bummer, man. Like this is all destroyed and fake, and it never was. Like, man, I was like, wow. It was like innocence. It was a time of innocence on Vanderpump Rules. And we didn't even
well, I'll
realize.
tell you who else got really sad, Ben. Trixie Monocle. Because here's the new song she sings. It's like, dun, 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 dun. I find myself in disarray. I find myself in this. Oh, fucking perk up, lady. Who hired this downer of a fucking Trixie? Give me my old Trixie back. I want like, I've got power and I am rich now and I don't need a man in chong chong.
I'm a bitch. Like, I'm a bad bitch opening up sandwich shops. Bitch. You're not a bitch. I
Tony teacups from a thrift store. Bitch.
Caesar salad wraps, don't you want one? Boss bitch, sandwich bitch, boss bitch.
Find yourself in disarray. Get the fuck out of here.
It was definitely like Trixie Eilish. And I have to say, I was a sucker for every single musical cue, like from this point forward, because they kept on putting in all this melancholy music. And every time they did, I was like, wow, can you believe it? Like, I fell for it.
But it was funny because the girls were trying to make this like, we're bonded now. We're going to have a bad bitch summer. But then they just kept playing these Irish, prostitute murder songs over it. It's like, we're girls and we're here together and we're going to come through it. My life in disarray, girl. I've died, but my family can't hear me. But I'm still in my mother's living room. It's like,
what was I made for? So, yeah, they're like, summer of bad bitches, and Lisa's, bad what? bad bitches. Oh, I don't understand this youth slang. That's you bad bitches, not me.
So Lala's like,
Time to have a private conversation with you, Elvipus.
so she pulls her over to the side, and then she's telling her,
Listen, I'm feeling all sorts of ways about what Rachel said, because she said at the end of the season, she said, if I go against Tom's, I don't have anybody's.
and then we see a clip of that where she's, where she finally, I think this is when she finally came clean, right? At the very, very end, when she's like, okay, fine, I'll tell you the truth. And she's saying, if I go against him, I don't have anybody.
And Lala's like, what I can relate to is feeling isolated. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning and you're just with a man having 2 fried chicken sandwiches on his chest? It's isolating. And I feel like the person who has made you feel like that, they make you feel like they're the only one.
Now I get the sentiment, but I think something missing at the end of Raquel's speech was like, if I go against Tom, I don't have anybody to shoot with, because that was kind of like the end of it for her. If she ended up not being with Tom, she would have been done, because she was done with James, right? And no one liked her from the girls because she was making out with Schwartz or whatever that whole storyline was. So.
I mean, yes, probably, but I do think that she's also like, I've burned all my bridges, and no one likes me, and Tom's the only person left who likes me in this whole situation. And if I go against him, like, I have the whole world that hates me right now, and he's the only person left who shows me any kind of grace. So I think she really was like, I'm alone in this world, and I have no one to shoot with. When you say this world, I take it as like this world, the Vanderpump Rules world or whatever,
But either way, Lala's like, yeah. Now, that said, obviously what Tom did, especially hearing more about it as it goes on, his whole like,
oh, we're going to have a secret and you can't tell, and we're going to do this.
I mean, obviously the guy is a manipulative piece of crap. I just don't know that I'm ready to jump on the whole like, oh my God, poor Raquel. I think that sometimes that, even though I've kind of vacillated in my feelings over the course of the whole storyline or whatever, I think at the end of the day, it kind of is condescending to just be like, she just doesn't know anything. She's just an innocent, doe-eyed little girl. And I think that's kind of what everybody was fighting against last year. So especially Lala. So to see Lala being like, it's.
I mean, I think you can have pity for someone and feel bad for someone, but still hold them accountable for their actions, because at the end of the day, you do get nothing for nothing. And
that is all you can say for the life of the poor.
And like, honestly, she knew what she was doing. She's a grown woman. She's old enough that she's aged out of her pageant category. So
that was rough. I mean, that's the real trauma.
I think that's what really. I think she was having her version of a midlife crisis. She was aging out of her pageant category without taking home the crown. So yeah, she spiraled.
Well, for a pageant girl, that is, I guess, your middle age crisis, right? Yeah. When you're like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do any more boogie board stage work.
What am I made for? Disarray.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So Lala's like, yeah, because I know what it's like having a man in front of you painting this beautiful picture saying, you're the one for me, and you're my soulmate, and you're willing to risk it all for this man. And then he doesn't buy 1 million of your books so that you can make it on the New York Times bestseller list.
I know what it's like. You show up at the carnival, you're wearing black leather, and he's saying, you're the one that I want, you're the one that I need. And you go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then next thing you know, you're trapped. I get it.
So she's saying, I was believing Randon to the point where I was just ignoring everyone around me, saying, girl, you're the other woman. So she's still doing this whole like, I didn't know I was the other woman. I was so tricked that I believed that I wasn't the other woman.
Right. Well, I don't think she's saying I didn't know I wasn't the other woman. She's like, I put blinders on and chose not to accept that, despite the fact that everyone told me, and it was all right there. And Lisa's like, well, it's quite surprising she even had the balls to go against Sandoval, right? And Lala's like, I know that feeling of like, I'm going to tell the truth because that's what feels natural to me. I'm going to tell the truth. Now, but did Lala?
I don't think that anybody's ever said that about Lala.
Well, actually,
you know what Lala's toxic trait is? Always telling the truth. That's just Lala.
Yeah. So then Lala says, and you know what the hardest part was? And I love this little speech because this felt like it should be in some drag show. She's like, all the names I was called, me being labeled a home-wrecking horse. If you just lay it out there, they're all true. I'm a whore.
And my thought of this was Lala making herself the real victim of ScandoFallout's high art. I mean, just watching her weave this whole thing, I loved it. Now, I will say my favorite Lala is the fuck you. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to. And if I'm marrying some gross guy and have to eat him out every night while he eats a double chicken sandwich and burps in my face when I come up from his butthole, I'll fucking do it. Because it's worth it to me. And fuck you jealous bitches for thinking anything other than that. That's when Lala is like peak my favorite. You know, when she's like, I know you all hate me and I don't care because you don't have summer bodies.
Yeah.
That's my girl right there.
But I also love this version of Lala where she's like, fine, I hear what you're saying about me on the internet. I just want to move past this. So you all are right. It's fine. Now let me move on and now it's time for the next version of Lala.
Okay, well, I'm ready for all the versions. I love all the versions.
I think she's like trying to close her Rand chapter. Her Rand chapter was her worst chapter. And I think she's ready to move on, hopefully to go back to classic.
Do you think so? Lala. It doesn't seem like it because she's like, I'm crying every day. I have all this stuff, this residual stuff because I didn't get to deal with it last year. So now I'm going to deal with it this year. It sounds like I think the reason I'm starting out annoyed is because it seems like she's setting herself up for a season of relitigating all of the Rand stuff.
Well, how about
trying
this?
To convince everybody of something that we don't need to be convinced of. Like,
let me rephrase.
Over. Go find a new Rand.
Let me rephrase. I agree. I think that she wanted to have her Rand victory lap last season and didn't get to. So I do agree that she wants to have like the post Rand moment, but I think that like she is closing the chapter on being like a Rand defender and a Rand like I wasn't a mistress, all that stuff that everyone was like, okay, Lala, like, come on. I think she's saying like, okay, maybe I was some of those things, but I didn't realize. Just let me have like my season of sympathy. You know.
Yeah. So she's dabbing her eye, and LVP is like, oh, I'm so happy to see that you're not as rigid in your position to the one person who could make this season bearable. You're going to call her right. Call her right now. Do it. Can't wait. My magic has worked.
You know, out of all of them, Lala is actually the last person that I would expect to have empathy for Raquel, especially after all their interactions. So maybe if there's room for forgiveness from Lala, the others will come around and turn on Ariana, and we'll have another amazing season.
Yeah, I think that's maybe some of my resistance, is this was filmed so close after the reunion was filmed, and that reunion was like... I mean, it was dark. By the time that thing was done, I was like, oh my God, I want to go over there and pick up Raquel after this. They were so mean, especially Lala. They were so mean. So now her coming back, I'm like, I'm finding this all a bit fishy. So she's going to do it because also Lala is, whatever we think about Lala, at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. She is a good reality star. And she's like, we need this girl back for this show, and I will call her. I will be the one to bring her back. Fine. Yeah. Let's do it.
I think that's actually what this is more about. I think at this time there was still some thought like, is she going to film? Is she not going to film? So James is DJing, the tourists are dancing, having a great time. And then Katie's talking to Sheena and she's like, this is like so fun. We got to make this a regular thing. I've been like really enjoying hanging out and like, I'm not wanting to revisit anything of what happened last summer, but I just like want to know that like I can like trust you with like the small things. And like when I'm talking about like what I'm doing and like who I'm dating, it's not going to be like used against me on your podcast.
And Sheena is saying, you know, I'm so sorry. Like, it's never going to happen again, okay? Because, like, last summer, I was ready to write off my relationship with Katie, especially after so many years of having to, like, walk on eggshells around her, you know? And so we see a clip of their relationship being terrible and me always being on Team Sheena side. So my response to this is, okay, well, I want to be able to say things about you or to you without you using them against me too. Like, why are you the one always apologizing? So, but although she probably did deserve to after last season. So now that I think about last season, I'm like, oh, okay, she owed it. So, sorry, I'm working through this. It's been a lot, guys.
It's a lot.
ScandoFallout's been a lot for me, guys.
Like,
okay,
you know what, Ronnie? Hold on. Let me ease your emotional state. We're in disarray.
dun, 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 dun. So she says that they've become friends again. Well, they put their differences aside for Ariana, and now they realize that they kind of do like each other still.
Yeah.
So
the show is at its best when they don't like each other. Let's be honest.
Well, how long can it last?
No.
I mean, look, you're still Katie and you're still Sheena. There's no way that they're just going to be suddenly like, oh, I like you now. They do not like each other now. They're just waiting. Everybody's being nice because they're letting Ariana have her moment. But the second that is over, they'll be back.
I just like want to get to like back to like not where we were, but like better. And like, you know, like look at our two best friends. Like I would love for like the four of us to like continue growing our friendship. And so then Katie's like, let's do something like a little bit more intimate. Let's do like a girls' night because girls' nights really worked out well for us last season. So let's do that.
And she's like, I'm free tomorrow. And Katie's like, I'm always free.
That was funny to me. That was actually one of the funniest things Katie did was when she goes, I'm always free.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So now Lala goes to the smoking alley and she looks up Raquel's number and it sounds like she called her, but she didn't. She was leaving her one of those text voice things. I hate those.
Voice memo or something.
Oh, I hate when people, oh, okay. So I guess I don't have a say in this. I guess I'll just put aside a minute and 30 seconds of my time to listen to you fucking monologue because you couldn't put that in a fucking sentence.
Well, the new iOS does transcribe it, which is nice. Like I said, let AI lead the way. So she's like, what Rachel did, what she did, like how she went about those things was so fucking stupid. We need her back on the show. So she goes, hey, Raquel, I'm sure I'm like the last person you expected to hear from. Well, maybe Ariana's the last one, but I'll just say I'm the last one. But I just hope you're doing okay. And do you want to film with us? Because we need a villain on the show. Thanks. Bye.
We're literally planning girls' nights with Katie. Please call me back.
I don't know if you're back in LA or not, or if you're still stuck in stupid Arizona sending postcards, but I'd like to have a conversation with you at some point. If you're open to that. Okay. Talk soon. Bye.
And she's like,
Oh my God, she saw it. I'm going to like throw up and shit my pants at the same time. Is this seat heater on?
So strange that heated seats in the back alley. So then we see these like strange like flashes, like horror movie flashes of like Sandoval and Raquel.
another dead Irish prostitute song, by the way. Bling, 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 bling.
I walk to the river. I walk to my death. Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, I was providing Enya on backup since it was Irish prostitute. I thought it'd be
So funny. And then they show them having fun, but they're like flashing in horrible shots of Sandoval's face, like a horror movie. And then we see Ariana in there being the center of attention and like dancing, and everyone's taking her picture, and all these homely girls from Burbank are surrounding her. And then it looks like she's having fun, but it's still the dead prostitute music. Like,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
A hand comes from the ground and it grabs me by the ankle and it pulls until I'm gone.
Poor Siobhan is dead. So now we have Schwartz. He's at home at his apartment. And it's like, Gordo, you want to hang out? You want to hang out? And his little dog just like pulling away back. Where like even the dog doesn't want to hang out. The dogs
are in the other room. Like, oh my God, please just leave us out of this, please.
The dogs are signing a petition to resurrect Sweet Lady Jane's. So Katie comes over and is like, oh, Katie, I just gave the dogs oatmeal baths and I plucked his dingleberries. Oh, it's a great day. Hi.
She's like, And she goes, yeah, I'm happy to say that he's not my problem anymore. And he goes, do you want to stay and have some shots of kombucha or something? She's like, sure. It's like, yeah, you two are really living that independent life, huh?
Schwartz goes, I was reading The Room last night. I was reading The Energy. Ariana's not happy with me. Wow, you really relied on your psychic ability with that. I feel like we didn't really underline like how Schwartz a few times went up to Ariana and was like, hey, Ariana. And she just would give like a die smile. Die right now. And then looked away.
Well, he has to keep coming up to her over and over again so he can be the big victim. This is Vanderpump Rules. These are Vanderpump Rules men. That's how they operate, you know? I'm the victim. So she goes, aside from the dogs, like, he doesn't even get access to my life anymore. After the way he spoke about me. And then we see clips of him being like, Katie sucks.
Yeah. He doesn't get access to all the nothing I'm doing every night. When's girls' night? I'm really bored. So Schwartz is like, well, Katie, maybe if it comes up at the right moment, like say, oh, Schwartz would really love to chat with you and he's such a cute little boy and it wasn't his fault, you know, but on your time, Ariana, your time, like whenever you're ready, you know? Oh.
So he says that Sandoval's at boot camp for this show, and she's like, oh my God, I hope he cries. And he goes, yeah, he does. He cries a lot. And she just squints at him like, I hate you, but I will finish this kava root drink. It's delicious.
I will waste your $12 kombucha drink right now. So now we go to Lala, and she's at a restaurant. She's at the Den, a Den of Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard.
And it's still sad music. It's even upbeat sad music. They made it sad in minor key still, but now it has a faster beat. Look, what are you guys doing to me? You're killing me.
I know. So everyone, the girls all join, and Sheena's like, huh, it's warmer than I thought, huh? I just like grabbed this. I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'll wear this out tonight. Hi. Which is such a Sheena entrance.
And then they sit down and she sees Lala's glitter purse or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, is that for my Amazon Live? I love that. She says, yeah, it is. And Katie says, I think I have that purse. And she goes, no, isn't yours Alexander Wang? She goes, yeah. She goes, this is Amazon. Poor Katie. I mean, Katie can't even win with a fucking Alexander Wang. You're going to show her up with a fucking Amazon Live purse? That's cold.
Katie's like, I had a tea party with me in the purse last night. I'm so bored. So Katie's like, oh, by the way, I saw Tom today. He has pet bugs. Lots bed bugs? Ew. No, pet bugs. As if that's supposed to make it any better.
Yeah. So then Lala's like, okay, yeah, but like, let's talk about, Lala says, can I play devil's advocate here? And Ariana's like, yeah, I don't think the devil needs any more advocates. Okay. She goes, yeah, but I think that Schwartz, he has to change his life. But you also have to think about the mental abuse that Sandoval has inflicted on him for years and years.
No. So Ariana's like, yeah, but it's like the layers of unlearning that I've only just started. I want to get closer to Katie for, I wanted to get closer to Katie for like a long time. And I was like always hesitant because Tom would always be like, no, be careful of Katie. Be careful of Katie.
And Lala goes, well, is that still happening? Because like you have your guard up with me. And then she's like, she goes like, it's like sometimes you barely tolerate me. And Ariana's like, babe, I like you. I do. She goes, no, I mean, I know I can be tough, but behind closed doors, I'm sensitive. I'm a dog in everyone else's fight, and I've been left to defend myself at times. It's just me fighting for everybody else, always.
Lala is she is a victim in all this. And I understand her feeling like, about Ariana. I believe we actually once wrote a song about that experience, about wondering if Ariana's merely tolerating you. Is Ariana mad at us? Is Ariana mad at us?
Oh, wow.
I haven't played it in about 5 years, so I thought I think if there's any time to bring back the Is Ariana Mad at Us song, it's right now. While Lala is literally asking, is Ariana mad at us?
She's like, Ariana's been a tough nuts to cracks, and that's her downfall. I just don't know how to be friends with someone who shuts me out like that.
It's like, why aren't we pretending like you're so nice to Ariana? And it's just Ariana shutting you out all the time. Get out of here. Roll the clips.
Yeah, can we have the clips of like Lala talking shit about Ariana on her podcast, which started off their little feud like 2 seasons ago? So Ariana's like, well, I'm sorry I didn't trust your judgment. And she's like, guys, I do think you guys like need like a little bit of like a moment. You know who else needs a moment? I do, because I'm like going through a lot right now. So
Ariana Lala's fake crying again. And so she's like, no, come on. Okay, listen, we're going to inner circle our asses off. We're going to go swimming pools together. And Lala's like, I want that. I want that.
Yeah, and and then Lala's like, so that being said, now that I've buttered you up, now that I made you feel bad for nothing, with that moment that we just had, I feel like I need to be like very, very honest with you. So, like, remember that reunion we filmed? Yeah. So the last 5 minutes of it, did you see it on TV? Because Raquel was talking on it, and like, there was one thing that she said, and she was like, if I don't follow what Sandoval told me, then I don't feel like I'll have anybody. Remember when she said that on TV? Yeah. So I was like feeling like, oh God, like I don't want to wear this for the rest of my life. And like what I'm going through with Rand, which is the most important thing here right now. And I just like, I felt bad. I sent her a message last night.
And Katie just like eats a French fry, like, ooh, you know.
I just don't want to have to wear that the whole life. I mean, look, Katie knows what it's like wearing terrible things her whole life, right, Katie?
Katie's like, bitch, leave me out of this, okay? This is the outsider's look. Okay, let me just live my life.
Katie's like, I already promised not to wear the beret anymore.
So Ariana's like, well, okay, my feeling is that whatever she's doing, I hope she's well over there, but she's still in contact with Tom. They're sending each other packages. They're sending postcards. So,
and Ariana's like, this is kind of wild because like for a year and a half, if anyone interacted with Lala's ex, she was gonna murder them and like cut their balls off. And I just feel like if the shoe were on the other foot, and if I were reaching out to Randall's mistress, I don't think Lala would be very happy with me, which is 100% correct. I mean, Lala literally had a rooftop meeting of people and told was going to make them sign papers and say you're either with me or you're with Randall, something like that. So that is
remember last year it was she was mad at Schwartz at the beginning of the season because he was playing pickleball still with Rand, and she's like, fuck you, you're dead to miss.
So so Lala's like, well, I know that they're still in communication, just like hear me out, like, you know, remember I have an ex and like he asked me to sign an NDA. Like basically my situation's actually even worse than your situation, Ariana. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Just how she said it is so weird. She goes, yeah, I know they're still in contact, but we're talking about my ex. Like, no, you're not. You're not talking about your ex. Why are you talking about your ex? Because nobody else is. And Katie's like, yeah, but that doesn't really apply here. That's kind of a different thing. And Ariana's like, yeah, that girl knew better. And she goes, yeah, but... And she's like, she literally came to my house when I was crying in January, and it was very clear we were still together. And she was like there consoling me. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you about this chick, but.
Yeah, but okay, but we do have a TV show to do. And like what she did to Ariana was like so fucked up. Don't get me wrong. It was so fucked up. Period. Backspace, comma. But at the same time, at what point do I sit there and say, I know this feeling. I am a victim too.
She's like, yeah, I know that everyone else has felt pain, but I've tasted Rand's butthole. Is anybody going to cry for me?
I feel like I have not gotten enough sympathy over the fact that I understand the exact texture of his butthole hairs.
So gross.
Which, by the way, is a fair point.
And Katie's like, you know, look, people are different. Like, I get that you're feeling a certain way, but these are different people. And she goes, yeah, like, I get it. She's like your guy's little sister, okay? Like, I get it. And she goes, yeah, like, look at me. Like, I was so there for her. I was like her fucking ride or die. I was like Brisket, basically. I was like a champion for her. So for her to do this to me, let's not forget about that too, okay? This is about me, not you.
Sheeners, Shishu, I would never, ever forget about whatever point you were making because I wasn't listening. And she was like, She's like, I just feel like if like the only thing Raquel did wrong was fall in love with her best friend Sandoval, then like maybe one day we could have been friends. But like the bitch put a temporary restraining order on me, and that has like changed everything.
That's what's unforgivable to Sheena. I love it. The girl put a restraining order on you after you hit her, allegedly.
Well, I'm on Team Sheena for this one.
So funny.
Ariana's like, well, for me, I just worry that there are certain people in this world that look at those types of conversations as a foot in the door, and there's just no foot to be had. Like you can't.
What do you mean? I totally had the conversation on cameras. So.
And Lala's like, okay, well, I just want you to know I'm in your corner, and like clearly this didn't work out, so I'm just gonna say I don't want to upset you, and we'll just drop it there. Okay?
I thought it was going to take some time for Lala to start coming for Ariana, because we see in the previews, which we see in just a second, after they hug, right? So then we start getting Westworld chords, which anybody who's seen that show knows that's depressing as hell too. It's like a dong, dong. It's like fun episode, guys. But then we see what's coming up the rest of the season, and we see a part where Lala's going,
oh, really? Well, I've never known somebody who just becomes a fucking saint just because her boyfriend, just because she got cheated on,
or whatever she says. I thought it was going to take a while to warm up, but Lala's just starting the season coming straight for it.
Although on Watch What Happens Live, Lala claimed that there's like a reason why I said that, and later on this season, you'll understand why. So the episode ends, after this girls' night, the episode ends where we go back to Ariana's house, and we see an SUV pull up, and then we see Boots. And there's Tom Sandoval walking back into the home, and he goes, dude, hello?
This is where we get the Westworld chords with Tom, mysterious Tom, stepping out of a car.
He's back. I agree. Actually, I agree very much so with what you said, that it was good that there was no Tom. I think everyone was like waiting to see Tom and make fun of Tom and see his excuses. But I think it was actually really good and smart that they did an episode that was centered on Ariana to start before we start, because once Tom is back, it's all going to be about Tom. That's just the way it is. He's going to be the villain, or people are going to be like, no, he's been treated too unfairly. But the conversation's only going to be, it really is about Tom. And I think Ariana's going to fall by the wayside to some degree. And I think that this was good that they had the first episode back, focus on Ariana, the true victim, and all this bullshit.
Well, that brings us to the end of an epic first 2-part recap. That was super fun. And I know that was very confusing how I phrased that, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of 2-part recaps is what I mean, because it's Vanderpump Rules, Yeah. It's our Christmas.
Who was most confused was me. Okay, I'm like the biggest victim in this situation right now. I was so confused.
No, it's smart. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Go get your tickets for the Golden Crappies February 17th. They're on sale now at watchwhatcrappens.com. And so are the streaming tickets. Or if you want to watch this video, come to Patreon. That's where we are. This week, our bonus episode is Southern Hospital. So come join us, won't you?
Southern Hospital. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
She's the wind beneath our Jennifer Wing.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch, it's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.